well. So, okay, there we go. It's recording. So yeah, you guys can go and check it out afterwards again. It's just going to be a YouTube link. So if you want to just look through it again, I am also going to be in touch, obviously, before the time with like emails about flights and stuff like that again. So it won't be a problem at all. Okay, I'm just going to jump right in and start. Don't want to take too much of you guys' time. So firstly, I just want to talk a bit about our communication going forward. So I am going to make a WhatsApp group for every one of the courses before the time. Sorry, Mark, is my camera on or not? Sorry, guys. I just realized that now. Okay, I don't know why it wasn't on. Should have been automatically on. There's a lot of people on, so yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make a WhatsApp group. If you guys don't have WhatsApp, can you please download it before you? Yeah, just before the trip. I will also send an email out to remind you about that. So I'm going to be on the group. Mark's going to be on the group. Your guide is also going to be on the group, and then all the other group members. So nice thing about that is you can ask any sort of last minute small questions, like what to bring. Do you want to check, should I bring this? Anything like that. Updates on your flights, information like that. And then also you guys can chat with each other. So you'll actually find that some of you might even be on the same flight, even though you're from different universities. And it's always nice for you guys to hook up before the time as well, so you don't have to travel alone. It's quite nice. Okay, with regards to the flights, so after this call, you're welcome to book your flights. I know a couple of people have already. So we're going to be picking you up at Johannesburg International Airport. It's also called OR Tambo. See that name as well. We're going to collect you at the airport at 9 a.m. in the morning. You need to make sure that you arrive by that time. We're going to, like on the WhatsApp group, we'll arrange exactly where to meet. It's usually at the information desk at arrivals, but we can chat with each other on the WhatsApp group. It's quite important that you are there on time. We are leaving straight from the airport and driving to an area called Pongola. It's around about a 6-hour drive. So we need to leave the airport at 10 a.m. at the latest. So you need to be out, because obviously you got to get through the customs and everything like that as well. So, so please, you got to make sure you don't miss any flights, any connecting flights or anything like that, as we cannot wait any longer than 10. And it's very tricky to get you guys there afterwards. So some students I know have already booked and arriving the day before. It's totally up to you guys. Most students don't. You'll see the flights generally arrive early in the morning. So it shouldn't really be a problem, just so you know. Okay, at the end of the course, we're going to be taking you back to Johannesburg International Airport. We usually drop you there late morning, because you'll see most of the flights are in the afternoon and the evening on the way back. So we just want to make sure that you don't miss your flights if you're not late. So basically, you can book any flight from midday onwards for that day. Yeah, you can always just check with me as well. So travel agents are usually the best to give you advice on different flight options, because you'll see there's probably options flying through Europe as well from the States and vice versa, stuff like that, even through Dubai. So yeah, they can help you out with that. It's important that once you've booked your flights, to please send me all of your flight details. So no matter how many flights you're taking to get here, I just need all of the flight numbers and times, just in case we need to locate you somewhere. It's very important. And yeah, I'm also going to be sending you an email with this information on again soon. So, but you also got obviously the YouTube clip that I'm going to send you guys that you can check out. Okay, of this talk. Then with regards to travel insurance, it is compulsory for you guys to have travel insurance to cover you throughout the trip. You'll need to arrange this yourselves. But yeah, so you can please look at our terms and conditions document that I sent you when you first booked. That has details on what needs to be covered by the travel insurance. You can also, as always, drop me a question on email if you need to. But please note, it is compulsory. You cannot take part in the course if you don't have travel insurance. If you do need, I do also have a list of travel insurance companies students have used before. I can send that through. Just drop me an email if you need it, if you don't have your own preferred travel insurance. Changing of foreign currency. So you can change currency at the airport when you arrive. Please bear in mind the times I mentioned to you. So if your flight is arriving very close to 9 o'clock, you're probably going to have to then just arrange foreign currency before you come to South Africa. So yeah, we use South African rands here, so you can change at the airport, or you can just use your bank card in South Africa as well. The airport's going to be the only place you can change it. So please, yeah, you have to do it there if you do rely on doing it in South Africa. We are going to stop over at some towns with ATM machines, so you can withdraw cash as well. It's very important that if you do plan to use your bank card while you're in South Africa, that you do notify your bank before the time. They tend to put security checks or security blocks on cards that are all of a sudden used overseas. So if you notify them, then it shouldn't be a problem at all. I often get asked how much money you should bring. It's a very difficult question to answer because it is up to you guys. The course does cover everything you need, meals, etc. So the money that you're bringing with you is really just for luxury items. So if you want to get in snacks or chocolates or whatever it is, fizzy drinks, any souvenirs or gifts for people back home. So, I mean, a good starting point is probably around about $100 worth, which is about, say, 1,500 Rand. That can get you quite far here, obviously, depending on what sort of gifts you're buying. But yeah, it is up to you guys to decide on that one. Your final payment, I had a few people asking about this. It's only due 2 months before your arrival. I am going to send out invoices again to remind you. But if you want to get the payment over and done with before the time, you're welcome to drop me an email and I can send you the invoice earlier. If you just want to tick that off your list, we can do that earlier. Vaccinations. Okay, so currently there are no regulations regarding COVID for entering South Africa. So no, you don't need to be vaccinated or have any PCR tests or anything like that. Obviously, COVID is, you know, what it is. It's always changing. So we will check that out before you guys arrive as well. But at the moment, and hopefully it stays like that, there's nothing. With regards to other vaccinations, we are actually not legally allowed to advise you guys on that. It's just because it's such a personal thing. It depends on your own, you know, personal health, and also even things like where you've traveled before you come to South Africa. So it's best to speak to a healthcare provider before, yeah, pretty much as soon as possible, just so that you can see if you do need to take any other vaccinations. But I can say that generally students from either the States or Europe do not need any extra vaccinations to come here, but please, you can just check that out with a healthcare professional. Okay, malaria. So the tour does take place in a moderate risk malaria region, okay? But bearing in mind that the tour does take place in our winter. So there aren't many mosquitoes around in winter, so that does reduce the risk. But please feel free to contact your doctor for advice on malaria. It also depends on your personal circumstances, if they advise you to take or not. The South African government recommends taking anti-malarial drugs in that region only from September to May, which is our summer period. The tours take place outside of that time, but again, it really is up to you guys to double check what's best for your personal circumstances. Okay, visas. Students from either America students with either American or European passports do not need a visa to visit South Africa for a trip like this. Your passport will be stamped on arrival at the airport with a 90-day, it's like a tourism visitor's visa. So you'll have 90 days in the country if you want to. You do not need a student visa, please. That's only needed if you're registered at an educational institution in South Africa that you're doing like a formal study at. It's not something like this. So you're perfectly fine with coming just on the sort of the normal tourist visa that you'll get here. Okay, so weather during the course. So as I mentioned before, it is winter here when you are in South Africa. Our winters are generally not very cold, but we do have cold fronts that move over the country. And for a couple of days, then it can bring the temperature right down. I mean, it can even go down to 0 in the evenings and early mornings. That's 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. But again, we have lovely days that can go all the way up to 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have had students swimming in the Kruger National Park, for example. But please do bring a mix of warm and cooler clothes with you. It's important that you bring at least one set of very warm clothes. So whether that be a lot of layers and then a jacket, but please do include a nice warm jacket. You are going to be going out on open safari vehicles, even in the evenings. So it can get very cold with the wind blowing on you like that. Just make sure you have been warned. You can just layer up and get a nice jacket. You should be fine. You are going to have the opportunity to wash your clothes during the course as well. So you might need to pay for doing washing of clothes, but it's not that expensive. It should be around about 100 Rand or so, depending on where we are. Some of the activities are weather dependent. So there's obviously weather is out of our hands, but we do try our best always to find you a backup activity, or we try and move around the itinerary so that we don't miss out on anything. But please, if you can, bring something with you to keep you entertained if we are stuck somewhere. A good book, or maybe even some games. Games are always cool because you can play with your fellow students in the evenings as well. Or even bring some study materials if you want to. Okay, but about the accommodation, I had a few questions regarding this. So you will be sharing a room with another student of the same gender. Most accommodation is sort of in a guest house, lodge, chalet style. In Kruger National Park, there might be times where you're sharing with more than one other student, but it'll always be of the same gender. So yeah, not a problem there. So most of the accommodation cater meals for you, so the meals are all made for you. Some places, like also in Kruger National Park, there's only self-catering options there. So we will be providing you with all the ingredients and everything. Your meals will be cooked, but we can just ask you maybe to prepare your own breakfast and maybe a little lunch pack for the day as well. So as I mentioned, we do provide you with all 3 meals throughout the course. You will have the opportunity to go to supermarkets as well, where you can buy little snacks and stuff for yourself or in between the meals. We do cater for dietary requirements, but some diets such as a vegan diet can be a little difficult to cater for in South Africa. We are generally a meat-eating country, so you won't have the same range as you do back home for you guys. But if you'd like to, if you are vegan, for example, you can bring with some snacks from home for yourself as well. Okay, so on that document I sent you recently, the information document, there was a list of items to bring with. So mosquito repellent, please, that's going to be very important. Light cotton clothing, some warm clothing for the cold evenings and mornings, like I mentioned. Preferably some old clothing as well, because you're going to be sort of in the bush and sometimes even clearing some bush or whatever it is. So some older clothes are definitely going to be a good idea. A hat or cap, sunscreen, please, very important, don't forget that. A swimming costume, comfortable walking shoes, at least a few pairs of older trousers as well for trousers, pants, walking in the bushveld. A waterproof jacket as well. So yeah, that's going to be handy because we might do some activities even if it is drizzling, for example. A small backpack, that's super handy for you guys to just throw all your stuff in for the day, like your water bottles and that sort of stuff. So try bring along one of those as well. Some hiking shoes. So if you don't have like professional hiking boots or whatever, it's probably not necessary to go and buy a pair specially. As long as you have shoes that you know that you can walk through the bushveld in, should be fine. Please don't forget any of your special medication. We won't have an opportunity to get it here in South Africa, so you have to bring it all with you. A swimming towel and a refillable water bottle, please. There is drinking water throughout the whole course, so you can just fill your own bottle for the day and take it with you. Yeah, so with also regards to luggage there, please make sure that you only bring one large suitcase and then one piece of hand luggage. So most of the airlines only allow you to take that on anyway, but it's very important all the groups are fully booked. So we are full in the vehicle and there is not going to be space for any extra bags. So please, we don't want to have to leave a bag somewhere. It's really important. Okay, so Wi-Fi and contact with back home. So Wi-Fi access is going to be limited during the trip. There are going to be places where we do have Wi-Fi, but please, you cannot rely on it. You need to please mention to everyone back home that there might be periods that you won't be able to contact them. I have, emergency contact details that you've given me. So I will be contacting them if there is any issues. So if they don't hear from you, it's good news. You can also please pass my details on to everyone back home as well. So they're welcome to contact me if they have any issues from their side or if they're concerned about anything. Another option as well to help you stay in contact though is getting either getting an international travel plan on your phone, your SIM card from home, or you can purchase a local SIM card here at the airport. It's also going to have to be at the airport, so you need to make sure that you have enough time to do that. Otherwise, we might not have another chance to do that. You'll see there are cell phone shops at the airport. We have 3 main networks, Vodacom, MTN, and Cell C. Either of those are going to be fine. Any network you can get will be fine. Whichever one you see first, whatever. Generally, the SIM cards are free, and then you just have to top it up with a data bundle or airtime or anything like that. So yeah, so please, but just mention to everyone that there might be times you're going to be in remote areas on game reserves. There's not going to be signal or Wi-Fi for, sort of, I'm not sure how long, it depends on where we are, but yeah, just tell them, please. Okay, just a few other questions I had. So you won't have a problem with communication at all in South Africa. English is our main language, so that won't be an issue at all. Yeah, and then most of this information I've given you today is in that information booklet that I sent you, so please have a look through there. And yeah, you've obviously got the recording I'm going to send you as well to go through. Cool, that's pretty much everything. Went through quite quickly. Yeah, and then I just want to check if you guys have any questions now for us. Okay, anybody questions? Okay, good, nothing. So we covered everything. Cool, I just want to see if Mark has anything else he would like to add.
No, I mean, just to say that we're very excited to have you guys join us. Elton and I actually in about a week and a half's time heading on the route of the Big 5 course, just to go and check in with all our service providers and our partners and make sure that everything is ready for the courses for this year. So maybe keep an eye on our social media pages, sort of early to mid-February. I'll probably post some pictures while we're up there and just show you a little taste of what's to come for you guys. If you're not on our social media pages, check out our Instagram and our Facebook accounts, and feel free to use the hashtags that we use. You'll get a little booklet when you arrive, a little bit more info of what to expect every day. And in that, I've put some social media hashtags that we like to use, and we'll get you guys sharing your experiences. But yeah, a little bit later in February, you can watch us as we prepare the way, just final plans for you guys before you come. It is going to be a fantastic learning experience, but just as importantly, it's going to be a fun experience. And so we place emphasis on both of those things. We want you to experience what a career in conservation is all about. And so we expose you to a wide range of topics and people to enable that. But just as importantly is to have fun. If you can't have fun doing what you do or in your career, then, what's the point? So look forward to it. Do a little bit of background reading and feel free to ask us questions whenever you have any.
Cool.
Holly,
Thanks,
I see Holly has a question. She's got a hand up there, Elton.
Okay.
Yeah. I just had a really quick question about like the times and flights and stuff. So for example, if we're going on like the June 16th to July 4th, do you want us to get there at 9 a.m. on June 16th?
Yes. Yeah. So that's the
Okay.
first day. That's day one. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And most flights that come from the States to South Africa are overnight flights that are landing in the morning. So it should be possible.
Yeah, it's always worked before for us. It's never been a problem. I mean, as a worst case, you can also, if you do need to arrive in the evening for some reason, you can just arrive the evening before then, rather. There are some hotels at the airport which are quite easy. And then, I can give you advice on that. So just let me know if you do have any issues, and we can work it out from there. Cool. Last chance for any questions.
I actually have a question.
Okay, cool. Hey, Tyler,
Oh.
sorry.
Tyler, thank
Yeah.
you. So I don't know if you guys would know this, but for West Coast students, like West Coast US, would flying out of SFO or LAX be preferred? Like, what have most students done in the past, if you have any idea?
No, so please check with the travel agent there. We have students from all over the world that join us, so I'm not familiar with exactly, what are your best options where you guys are from, but yeah, it'll be so simple to just check with the travel agent.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool, thanks. Okay, anything else?
I do have a question as well.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello. Yeah, is there any form of academic credit being given towards the end of the trip, or is it for personal education, or will there, like I said, will there be academic credit aimed, like, given towards the university and whatnot?
Okay.
So Ryan,
Ryan's
I'll
he's from
answer that
Stetson.
one. Yeah, Ryan, you're from Stetson. So Stetson hasn't come on board, or we haven't been able to have a conversation with anyone at Stetson yet about getting credits assigned to you. Some of the other universities we have. So for example, there's guys here from Cal Poly, and there's guys from
Texas A&M.
to North Carolina and Texas A&M and NSU, who can get credits for coming on this course. If you would like to maybe just approach one of your study abroad officers or one of your senior lecturers and help me to kind of connect those dots, we would love to be able to see you get credits for that. I see Alicia is saying she's also from Stetson, and she says there's a paper you can get from your department head to fill out. So that'd be cool. So I'm going to ask both Ryan and Alicia to do me a favor. If you can get me your department head's email address, you can chat to them about that paper that you can fill out. But I'll also engage with them and make sure that they get the necessary input from us to see that it is credit material coursework. And then you can work on that.
Okay, cool. I see Alicia's just sent the email address there.
Yeah. Very cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Alicia.
So I imagine it's Professor Gibbs. That's correct.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, cool. All right, now we'll find it. Good stuff. Thanks, Alicia. Okay, nice. Okay, cool. Anything else, guys? Okay, doesn't look like it. All right, cool. Well, that's about it then from us. So thanks very much for joining, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys. So yeah, as always, drop me an email, please. Any questions? I'm always like emailing back. So yeah, we'll see you guys later in the year. Thanks a lot.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
All right.